98.3 FM from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we invoke the thought-provoking discussion that tackle the tough questions, challenge assumption, and give a voice to the unheard. This is the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome on board the Morning Express.
Good morning.
3 FM.
Good morning.
Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Thank you for being on the other side of the radio and want to believe you are 25. Welcome to Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Mode. At least one or two major issues which we have looked at during trends and beam some light of perspective to that very issue, to see critically what is happening and what you can point to, and also preferring solution to issue if need be, so to say. So you're welcome, dear guardian. You can as well listen to us right there, regardless of where you are across board, landfm.com, and then you get to listen live to what is happening look on YouTube at Miller 98.3 FM. So you're welcome once again. The focus for this morning, without further ado, is the talks and claims back and forth about administration been able to bring forth during this administration with each the removal of subsidy and also flood forex policy. Now, we had the presidency and the presidential candidates of the Labour Party in 2023 elections, that Peter Obi, clashing yesterday over the fuel where haphazardly implemented by the government to plunge the country into economic crisis, that the president removal of subsidy was necessary. But however, queried or quarreled with the manner it was executed, and he also asked the president administration to health and poverty reduction, as it's claimed, recalling the forex exchange floating of the naira, triggering the economic crisis the country had been facing, especially with regard to inflation and the devaluation of naira. So in an interview yesterday, Peter Obi had said while he is supporting not against the removal of fuel subsidy, while it is necessary, the administration have been going about it is where he's concerned or being concerned. And he said, according to him, let me quote him now so that we can have there, and the steps I would have taken in an organized manner. The regime was riddled with executed and that the government, everybody knows critical areas of development, which is education, health, templates should have been negotiated with stakeholders to cushion the impact on citizens. And he also addressed productivity, according to Peter Obi. Quoting him now, he said that there is nothing wrong in Ghana, he said. And so, getting hot day of this present administration, which is the two major policies which the administration have brought into place or perspective of Peter Obi. And the manner at which you're going about it is what is wrong or what is not given the dividend of the policies you've made so far. So subsidy should be removed. Do you believe that subsidy should be removed in the first instance? Secondly, do you believe that subsidy should not be removed? That vice versa. Do you believe it should be removed? Do you believe it should not be removed? And the method should have been better so far. So do you believe that it should be removed? Yes, you agree with it. But the approach is the subsidy should be maintained. Like it shouldn't be removed because for their people. I mean, subsidy in itself is not a bad thing. But definitely it's about how well you... Subsidy should be maintained. That should not be removed. But, the presidency or the administration should rather be the fraud that has been behind the subsidy is what is bringing or not making the subsidy work or not making sectors that it should work in. So those are the questions that we are asking. Do you believe it should be removed? But the approach, the manner, the alternative way, or the better way that the presidency or the administration should have, gone about after the removal and the floating of naira, and also all corruption. I mean, the fraud behind the subsidy regime, and rather leave subsidy 0913-600-0410, 000430. Text messages also on 0913-600-01, or any personality. But we're really looking at issue based on should have been done. If not, do you is benefiting from the government? But comment on the comment section, or at the comment section of the live stream.
Yeah, my name is Samuel. I really commend you people for the good job you are doing. I'm calling from Tğᴇ.
Thank you.
No, on my own country in the whole world, where if at all subsidy is going to be removed, there are options. There are things more.
The refineries.
At least, yes. We should have functional refineries have been closed down. They are calm. For example, they have removed such. Gaga told the whole world that when Mr. President told the whole world that he has increased the allocation to states, Gaga told the whole world that removal of subsidy is not the interest of Nigerians. Few people are benefiting from it. Okay. So what the essence of removing subsidy and Nigerians are like?
You talked about the refineries, better approach.
Usifo, I'm calling from Abanoje.
Thank you.
For the removal of oil subsidy and of course the floating of the naira, I support the 200%.
Okay.
In fact, I praise Buhari's time when especially the removal of subsidy was not removed. Remember what happened during the time of Jonathan? The chairman of House, jail, like I think one Mr. Farouk of House of Reps. So the remote people, from elite, siphoning our money, and they're even taking our fuel to other neighboring countries, like Niger, palliative, we are not well managed to get to the masses. You understand?
Okay.
And then came back. And that was why the removal of oil subsidy is also okay. Then the closing of the naira is also okay because it was, to the advantage of the rich against the poor. So now, I think if it is well implemented, what is organized and what is disorganized? Disorganized is when people fight you back, the cartel and the cartel fight you back, and you're able to lead them down.
All right, thank you, Samuel.
That's been done by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Really appreciate it. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Lady Mo, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. How are you too?
Thank God, I'm fine. Man, the lion runs into the village and is destroying people, is killing people, so that the lion can go. You can see, you see all these arguments. Okay, you told us that there are subsidy thieves. There are thieves, there are robbers. Then you come and remove it and put people into suffering and penury. Let me go after this rich, if it is left. But the removal of the subsidy now favored the finances. In what way of the subsidy has brought, which benefits Nigerians? Okay, floating of the naira, you are not exporting, you are not, was the most criminal to give me like 4,000 megawatts every year. Where do you put the money for the removal of the subsidy? Why can't you plow?
Thanks for calling, and you too have a nice day as well. The conversation, really, the current time is not benefiting the poor, the average Nigerian, and all of that. Nigerian can, testify if the removal so far, have been or has been in the good. Are you conveniently living in the country? So the removal of subsidy and not remove approach. Hello, good morning.
Subsidy, the subsidy removal, whether it should be removed or not. Removing the subsidy, the process of the subsidy for critical projects. And if it's going to borrow, in fact, 2 years down the line, he has borrowed more than 8 years of Buhari. I don't use of critical projects, which education and the health and other things. But we're not seeing it. Where is the money? We should stop tribal and religious settlement. Let us come together. what is happening? You are borrowing. You say you don't borrow, you are borrowing. I see it. Can't you build a refinery? All the OPEC nations, so like that, report this. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Angelina.
Thank you.
From day one.
Did you tell? Or you
your government.
Okay.
The common man is gone. Our own interest is no longer protected. And that's where we are right now. Now they have removed the subsidy and the money, we are not seeing it. The borrowing has ballooned, removed so far. And this is how much we have spent. Because of corruption, because the money is even going back to them themselves. They will not tell you. So we are just here in the
corruption to continue without removing the subsidy.
My sister, which corruption? You would have started from that one first. You see where corruption coming from. Remove the corruption totally. That's what Peter Obi told you.
All right.
Peter Obi said he would have wanted to remove the corruption first from the subsidy. At the end of the day, the subsidy would have removed, wouldn't have impacted as much as it is impacting on us now. Look at now somebody cannot buy food to eat. Favor the rich.
All right, thank you.
Now, which one is this?
All right,
thank you.
Thank you very much. You're aligning to the fact that corruption should have been the best. That's the hint. Hello, good morning.
Like the last caller said, what is wrong with leaving the subsidy? Why should you remove? I think above the government, because of the few people are benefiting from subsidy regime, and you now remove it, and now plug the entire. Look at where I plug the naira. When the naira is not having something to lean on in terms of the deficit. Are you with me?
I'm with
what
you.
Are we to base economy that will okay, partially very strong, against whatever currency that is coming anywhere from the world. But here, vegetable oil and Volkswagen, most of them has collapsed, and the ones that are coming, they are borrowing. Most of them, some of them money are borrowing. Now you two, you are borrowing, and you are saying you are removing something. Obi is 100% right. Honestly.
Right. Okay.
You, Lady Mo.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing? Also, State, Nigeria. How's everybody in the studio?
Doing very well, thank you. Thank you for asking.
Why am I saying this? But they do exploit it. So important we bring things into the country, we start, and again, some of them will bring empty passing to the sea, they will collect money. Now, immediately they remove the subsidy, they give up. You believe that a country like Cameroon, they were protesting over there, other countries, they were protesting because they go for subsidy in Nigeria. Okay. For infrastructure development, if we take subsidy from petroleum, there should be number one country to export cassava to China, to other countries to make money. So if we are looking for money, the money is a benefit to Nigeria. But at the beginning, it's paying off. It's very painful. But in a long run, it is possible.
Of course, speaking about the money realized from the removal of fuel subsidy, at the wake of even the account allocation committee, FEAC, had definitely increased significantly. Reports even telling us that they have doubled, if not more than double. But the issue is, so what really do you align to? Removal or maintaining that removal, or maintaining the subsidy, tackling and it to become a scam? Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Lady Mo.
Good morning.
I think I will go on the side that Peju.
All right.
Around it. Said he would have done. Again, this very thing that we promises enjoy in Nigeria, and every single thing that we promise enjoy, please, I'm against what this current government is to some area to enjoy. They're making power emulating. Can't you go and say they know the right thing to do, but they just don't want to do it. They just want us, the masses, to suffocate. That is what I see them in government doing today. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you for calling. Really appreciate. Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Can you turn down the volume? Okay.
Yeah, this is Joshua.
Thank you.
See, this issue of to benefit Nigerians and to benefit
Nigeria. You understand me? When we talk about peace, it was necessary back then during the inauguration to remove subsidy for the president, because Nigeria, I will call politicians who remove subsidy coward. Then you have to sack so many people. That why are customs and all the to sack people immediately? You sack people and you make sure you address that. It benefits Nigeria. For now, this is particular time a naira is even higher or bigger or even more valuable than a dollar. Now look at where it is. We need to remove this subsidy for Nigeria to even be stronger.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. It is well. Thank you very much for calling. Really appreciate. Still Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos, and we had the President's administration during the assumption in office, speaking about the removal of subsidy and the floating of naira. We have Said Fouadi had fulfilled his promise back.
I went out and had to quickly sort out
at the expense of
a lot for the benefit of the station.
The station. Fouad, the main concern is the certain number of persons are benefiting from it. An average Nigeria is not benefiting from it. So what exactly is the issue? Is it because now?
Well, the education, healthcare, they look at things like petroleum products, so that at least there can be that cushioning of whatever is coming from the economy for the poor and vulnerable. A unanimous agreement amongst the political elites dealing with the corruption around subsidy regime, where ghosts and spirits that we could not track quotation of refined petroleum products, the line, those costs were being manipulated locally.
Right.
For example, this price, to keep the price reasonable for the people. So this landing cost, depot cost, killing cost, importation,
would be out of it.
People not bringing anything to now, So with guys, give them the matching orders. Are we saying we cannot secure our borders? And let me tell you, across the borders. So are we saying we are that helpless that we cannot secure our borders to ensure that the only thing practically the poor was benefiting from the government was subsidy? Now you've taken it back. The CBN just told us last week that the states and the local government are still owing about 4 trillion to the banks. so it's for the poor and vulnerable. They've been driven down. They've redirected themselves now to still benefit in terms of contracts and all manner of fraudulent appropriations in our budget. So it is still the poor that suffers the consequence of this misadventure caused of
either remover or no remover. Sincerely, because
more circumspect in handling that kind of issue. But here we are.
The arguments also, we had the argument. Someone also raised the issue of why not states?
Where are the refineries now? Since these guys are still repeating the same thing of I would have removed subsidy, but in a better way. What way are they really talking about? Let's probe into them, because again, forbid. All
right. Of course, still Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 removal, fuel subsidy removal and floating of naira against not being removed at all, but focusing on why it has. Good morning.
Thank you. I'd like to for comments on subsidy. The removal of subsidy is necessary. Look, in a prosper the country, this is true. That is, happening to subsidy. Some people are making their economy get that idea. It's left for him to now take it. I'm also say that we have seen it. It is some of our democracy. Our leaders have been passed when you are governor of Anambra State. You see, my position is this. Suggest to think about the prosperity of this country, and that is what I'm saying.
Good morning.
Lack of cycled long, the corrupt. To tackle the corruption is not about the subsidy to be stable and for the economy of every individual to be stable as well. Why is here? They will change the cost of Obi, mention of maybe whatever, to find out what is it in Anambra, rather than coming on face the major discussion. I always going after Obi. Thank you very much.
Thank you for Facebook. This says, I'm done with the money saved from it because in developed word. Now is the management of subsidy removal fund. And where the money of subsidy removal is. Falabi just says good morning to you too. Eric says I Lydimo. Thank you for the observation regardless. Vincent Ataokolo says fuel subsidy removal is normal for the interest taboo. Let Mr. President give accurate account. Subsidy in itself is not a bad idea because other country endemic corruption in subsidy management makes it look like subsidy is a taboo. Again, this will be the refineries, unlike outright removal of the subsidy by President Tinubu without a fallback plan. And Prince Leo from Azola, to you all in the studio, amen. Costs a lot of the same method you use used to carrying people from opposites to fix Nigeria. Nigerians are going through a very difficult time. President Tinubu, democracy under your watch will say it. Tᴏᴜ Michael says, hello, Mainland FM. There is no doubt that subsidy is gone. It only benefits the citizens. Find a better solution to a problem if you have not identified the problem. In my own are in good working conditions. The most annoying is that despite the removal, what have they done with the money saved from this removal? Is that not truly okay? Is that not highly ridiculous? The same is the issue of floating of naira, where the president people, which is better, is it to float the naira, knowing fully well that because I've received has improved. Just quickly for one, have been transparent, money transfer and all of that, blah blah blah, so to say. Difficult. If you say these people are, benefiting from the money, the subsidy.
There was corruption in the subsidy regime. People were extremely difficult to tackle the corruption in the system. Okay, maybe it was difficult because, again, we had to continue to import these products, and in between the entire value chain, there were opportunities to manipulate things to the point of issues, ships coming in and turning back on the IC, and then people still getting paid. You can deal with what you are able to produce locally. The good efficiently, that's what we're saying. So you take away
the corruption at that level.
By bringing back a more failure of government, because again, what we've seen consistently is that look, the dollar the window is still aboki running around with dollars and all these kinds of nonsense that you see here
on the street, and
now the ones still benefiting from it. The political class now have more money to share among themselves. They live in denial about it because we have political interests and all those things. Or because of the way these policies were done without clear method and all of that. The how part of the conversation is still missing. What are the clear timelines to say, okay, this is what we'll do, So from this stage, you want to look at your extant laws. So, for example, if you have the more details, this vagueness of policy comments and committees that at the end of the day, they get into power, the message for the future.
And beneficial, of course, you have the recap, Cordelia Ope, and just on the life and times, plus the legacy of the late music legend, everything regarding that for lovers of reggae music here. Under the pressure. All right, that you get to the conversation. This says, good morning to everyone in the studio. My biggest problem in Nigeria is... Okay, that's not the folk. Okay, let me see. My biggest problem in Nigeria is INEC and the judiciary, and including the police, and not the politicians jumping from one party to another. They are all jumping to APC. Okay, the only hope of the masses, which is Peter Obi. Okay. Not really about the subsidy. Good morning, Lady Mo and Said. My name is Femi Vitoye, chatting from Ayobo on the man. Okay. Thank you. Regardless, thank you for your message, regardless, but that's not the focus. Let me for himself and the vice president. Obi would not have bought a yacht, the residence of the VP. Obi would not have spent 4 weeks outside the shores of this flamboyant president who is more interested in his personal interest than that of the poor masses of the country. Obi would have been more prudent with the humongous resources of this country and formula of nations. The fuel subsidy gains would have been deployed with transparency and accountability under an Obi-led government. Chris from Magburu, do you agree with me? Good morning.
The reading is in the doing.
Good morning. It's
not about what you think.
Yeah. Good morning, Auntie, for Kiddies brain teasers. Good morning, Lady Moafoa. The unceremoniously removal of subsidy from fuel. Away from that, it says, good morning, Lady Mo. My name is Pastor Sunday from Agbora. I believe subsidy should be removed, but the way it was removed was bad. There was no proper planning. The president removed subsidy and saved the subsidy. The advanced country allowed her citizens to enjoy subsidy. Tinubu, set of people that fought good luck Iberian countries, beef and dairy. Instead of killing corruption, you remove the subsidy. Now Nigerians are suffering. We're seeing insecurity is growing in spite of Nigerians are groaning under the pain of hunger. They remove subsidy and enrich themselves. World Bank pushing the APC government on subsidy removal is in PMS. Energy and Telecom knows the implication that it pushes third world countries to poverty. Gas moved from 9,600 to 16,000. But the truth of the matter is that the president didn't even get to settle down enough. So I took that from Facebook. Thank you very much. Hi, Mainland FM. There is a difference in doing the wrong thing at the right time and doing the right thing at the wrong time. That said, the removal of the subsidy without any short-term and long-term manufacturing, mining, agricultural and petroleum sectors should have been developed so the country can generate and produce petrol. We can devalue our naira so that bring in a lot effect. Mr. President to have done was first have a complete shout those behind the corruption, punish them. The import removal would have been spent. After all, are we sure we are not paying subsidy looking at the exchange rate be Lagos? Little more. Good morning. If Peter were president today, he wouldn't have done anything differently. He's just talking because he's not in position to build schools or hospitals. Honestly, I could have outperformed.
Of the issues, you see people still talking about what he did in Anambra State. We're talking about because if he eventually becomes president, we will not be talking about what he did in Anambra. We'll be talking about.
Well, we talk about precedents. We talk about antecedents.
I thought the topic today was to. No. What we have in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu now, how does it concern what he did? The argument will never end. He's been governor for 8 years. That era has gone. Needed our lives. Let us probe into what he's saying. Actions about, he just told the money, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. The question is, if he becomes president, would he have done anything differently from what the president has done? And that's what I think we should focus on.
Allow the subsidy regime to continue and kill the corruption there. Final removal of subsidy simply means stealing from the poor masses and giving back to the political class. Mᴏᴜ from Ikotu says, good morning to you too. Also, this says, I see the relationship.
Thank you. Well, again, these issues will never end. We're approaching we're going to get to the point where we'll continue to have our conversations around these policies, ideas. And I would appeal to Nigerians, and all of these distractions they've always used against us. Let us probe into the policies, because it is in the policy that we'll know whether they have anything good or not for us. God bless Nigeria.
God bless you too. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
So 10 o'clock, the 괏ᴜ L쏘ᴅ, the recap will be coming your way with 괏ᴜ L쏘ᴅ and Joseph, the life and times, plus the legacy of the late music legend Raskimono on his Memorial Day coming.